Finished. Is this thing charging? Alright, let's start inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وسهل أخلاقنا بالحلم وجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه اللهم اجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك ولا تجعل فيها حظا لغيرك وصل اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everyone today? Alhamdulillah. Can everybody hear me? No. Okay, I'm going to go as loud as I can, inshallah. Razeen, can we just ask Amin if there's another battery replacement for you? Okay, but in the meantime, inshallah, I'm just going to go as loud as I can because others are going to waste time. So we ended on verse number 21. 21. There's only 30 verses in the surah. We ended on verse number 21. Alright, so I'll just read a couple of verses and we continue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاصبا فستعلمون كيف نذير ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نكير أولم يروا إلى الطير فوقهم صافات ويقبض ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن إنه بكل شيء بصير أمن هذا الذي هو جند لكم ينصركم من دون الرحمن إن الكافرون إلا في غرور أمن هذا الذي يرزقكم إن أمسك رزقه بل لجوا في عتو ونفور. Bismillah, that's better. Alright, so when we ended off, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was posing some rhetorical questions. أَمَّنْ هَذَا الَّذِي هُوَ جُنْدٌ لَكُمْ يَنْصُرُكُم مِّن دُونِ الرَّحْمَنِ Is there any army that can help you besides the most merciful Allah? إِنِ الْكَافِرُونَ إِلَّا فِي غُرُورٍ The disbelievers, they are only in delusion and deception. أَمَّنْ هَذَا الَّذِي يَرْزُقُكُم مِّنْ أَمْسَكَ رِزْقَهُ Or who is there that will provide for you if Allah withholds His provision, if He withholds His provisions? بَل rather لَجُّوا فِي عُتُوٍ وَنُفُورٍ We said lajja means to cling to something, right? And here in this sense, bal lajju means to be persistent. So bal lajju, rather they remained persistent. Fi utuwin, in utuwin is like haughtiness and arrogance, right? Wa nufurin, nufurin means aversion, to turn away from something. So one Mufassir Fakhruddin al-Razi rahimahullah ta'ala, he mentions that these two qualities refer to different aspects of a person. One relates to his action and one relates to his perception. So he says his utuwin, it relates to his action. So he persists in doing those wrong actions that he was doing in his transgression. And nufur refers to his intellect, that he persists in turning away from truth despite it having become clear to him. بل لجوا في عتو ونفور. There's something implied there, that after truth has become clear to him, he still remains persistent in his arrogance, doing the wrong deeds that he was doing, and nufurin, in being averse to it and in turning away from it. So the one is about arrogance, the other one is about ignorance. The one is about arrogance. So despite recognizing truth, he still acts contrary to that. It's about his arrogance. The second is about his ignorance. So he's averse to it. He's averse to it, but he can only be averse to it on account of not fully comprehending it. Right? So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَمَنْ يَمْشِي. أَفَمَنْ. How many words do we have there? There's three. There's the which is a harf. What does it do? It makes a sentence into a question. Fa comes to the beginning of a sentence. So it also shows that the question is connected to the discourse before it. And then man is the one who. Yeah, it's Ismul Mawsula. Fa man. So is the one who. So is the one who. I would usually if the wasn't there, you would translate it as the one who something, you qualify that word and then say is, right? Because you have the mubtada and the khabar, and between the mubtada and the khabar you put the is, isn't it? Is or are. But when you convert it into a question, usually you just put the is at the beginning. So is he this? So is the one who what? Whenever you have a word like that, remember I told you this before. Alladhi, man, ma. Those words are what we call Ismul Mawsul or Asma Mawsula, conjunctive nouns. They don't stand on their own. They require something else to qualify it, to tell you what you're talking about, right? In Arabic we call that the Silatul Mawsul. Have you ever heard about that before? In an actual class or just from... So you heard about the Ismul Mawsul and the Silatul Mawsul. So whenever you have a word like that, man, you see it's the Ismul Mawsul, you're looking for the Silatul Mawsul. What qualifies it? The one who what? So what is it? Yamshi mukibban ala wajhi. That the whole thing there is a Silatul Mawsul. Ala wajhihi.
In the word yamshi, I do see the pronoun huwa.
Yes.
Huwa yamshi, the dhamir.
Yes.
But is mukibban not the sifa of yamshi?
Not the sifa, adverb.
Because yamshi.
Yes, but it's part of the sentence. This entire sentence here is the what qualifies that. This can be broken up into parts, yes. You're going to have a jumla that's a fi'al. So you have a jumla fi'aliyah. This is going to be an adverb connected to that. This whole thing here is going to be a muta'alliq connected to that. This thing can further be broken up into parts. You're going to have this ha that's attached to that word over there. This word is attached to that word. I mean, it can be broken down further. But what I'm saying is just, we're not there, we're not going there now. We just want to look at what is qualifying the word man. What qualifies the word man is the sentence Yamshi mukibban ala wajhi. What does it mean? Masha yamshi means what? Means to walk. Masha yamshi. The verb masha yamshi means to walk. Right. Who's the fa'il of masha yamshi? Right. You look Eli, right? First you look at the end of it. Is there anything on the end of it? I told you the standard form is masha yamshi. We have yamshi over there. So there's nothing on the end. Is there anything to the left? That word is in nasb. No, our fa'il must be in which hal? Fa'il is always in hal to raf. So it's not there. Where next? Inside. Inside yamshi is what? Huwa. Not here. No, that would have to be tamshi. Alright. So it's a fi'l al-mudari'. The dhamir is inside, it is huwa. Do we need to go through that whole thing? No. Remember I explained to you last time. I explained it using the word alladhi. When you have alladhi and then it's followed by a verb that agrees with it in gender, then you already know the fa'il is going to be inside referring to the alladhi. The same applies to man. The same applies to man. So man, yeah, this word over here, it's a ismul mawsool. You tell me you guys learnt about it in a class, right? I'm not bringing new terminologies. Right, good. So when you categorize in your mind alladhi, alladhina, allati, allai, allati, ma, you put ma in that box, you put man also in that box. Right, so it works the same. So is the one who walks. Is the one who walks. It's a present tense verb. Is the one who walks. How does he walk? Okay, you didn't learn. When I say the word hal, what do you think of? What?
Conditional.
Okay, that's a little mean, but when in a technical sense, what do you think of? Do you think of raf, nasb and jar? Okay, good. That's when you're working with the encasing of words. Is there anything else you think about? Okay. So you didn't learn that yet. Inshallah, soon. I'm not going to jump ahead of the gun. This word here, mukibban, is telling us how the action is done. How the action is done. So it's in halatul nasb. You can see that, right? Right? It is describing in a sense, but it's what we call an adverb of manner. It's telling you how the action was done. Mukibban, who walks. How does he walk? No, mukibban is the opposite. The verb akabba, yukibbu, from which bab? How many babs did you learn? How many? Okay, tell me, what are the three that you learned? Fa'ala. No, you're leaving out the first one. Fa'ala. What did we do last year at the beginning? That's the first one. Fa'ala is the first one. Fa'ala yaf'alu. The next one you learned is Fa'ala yufa'ilu. Right, the next one? Fa'ala yufa'ilu. And then? Okay, three. So you learned three. Yeah. Okay, so this is number 4. This comes from number 4. 4 is comes all over the place. Right? The root letters are kaf, ba, and another ba. That's the root letters. Kaf, ba, and ba. On the 4th bab, it should be akabba. Akabba. But you'll soon, inshallah. Right? This will be the ismul fa'il form. Right? You know, if you say scale, say the scale fa'ala for me. Fa'ala, yufa'ilu, taf'ilan, mufa'ilun. What form of the word is that? The ismul fa'il, right? The active particle. And then you have the ismul maf'ul, mufa'alun. Right? And then the amr and the nahi. Fa'il, la tufa'al. Right? Okay. So this is the active particle, but of the 4th form. You're going to see it soon, inshallah. Right? It's telling you how the person did the action. Akabba yukibu means, it can mean a number of things. To bend down, to cause someone to bend down. It can also just mean to prostrate oneself. So is the one who walks downturned or prostrate. Ala wajhihi. Ala means upon wajhihi. Wajhihi means wajhun is face, wajhihi his face. That's a harful jar. That's why this word wajh must be in jarya. harful jar must be followed by ismul majroor, that's in halatul jar. But then we have this who attached at the end, that's a dhamir, right? What hal is a dhamir in? Also halatul jar, why? Whenever you have a dhamir attached to ism, kitabuhu, think. Whenever you have a dhamir attached to ism, it forms what kind of construction? Mudafun ilayh, right? So that's your mudafun ilayh. That who there is your mudafun ilayh for wajh. Wajh is in jar because it's of the harful jar. I'm not going through all this stuff because you know it's early in the year. Right? So, أَفَمَنْ يَمْشِي مُكِبًّا عَلَى وَجْهِهِ, is the one who walks prostrate or downturned على وجهه, upon his face. Is he what? Is he ahda? What does ahda mean? It's on the form of the word af'alu. Af'alu. But the root letters that's put on this form af'alu is ha, dal and ya. From hidayah, yes. That's correct. Now when I put a word in that form, af'alu, what is it? Akbaru. As'adu. Not come on. It could be superlative form depending on which one it is, right? Trap van veer gelijking. Right? So like Kabir is big, Akbar is bigger, second degree of comparison, right? So Ahda will mean what? More guided. A'lam will be what? More knowledgeable. Sa'id means to be happy. As'ad will mean what? More happy. Happier. And you know, we just learned another form of a word there, right? So Ahda means more guided or better guided. So what's the question now? Is the one who walks downturned upon his face, Ahda, is he more guided or better guided? Man yamshi. Means what? Or, but when do we use when we're still continuing the question. Right? Remember I told you, I repeat that many times. You have and o. When we in a question, then we use That's two words there. Man yamshi. We write it like one, but it's actually plus man. But when we want to just shove two letters into each other, we just replace it with a shadda. Man yamshi سويا على صراط مستقيم. So what does that mean? Man, or the one who, you're not going to have to look for the fa'il there, right? Why do you not have to look for the fa'il? You know how this ismul mawsul thing works. You have a man followed by a verb, you know it's going to be qualifying it already. Or the one who walks sawiyan. Alright, you can really figure it's the opposite of mukibban. Mukibban, downturn, prostrate. Sawiyan means upright. Upright. Ala siratin mustaqimin. Ala, upon siratin. Sirat is a path. Mustaqim, if we translate it as straight, it usually refers to consistent. Yes. So we have this man here. We're looking for the what qualifies that man. We have the ismul mawsul. We're looking for the silatul mawsul. So the silatul mawsul is man yamshi sawiyan ala siratin mustaqim. This comes from the 8th form of the verb. Siratul mustaqim, right? Okay, and I told you, Siratul we know is a path, mustaqim, it means to be consistent. Inevitably it comes to mean a straight path. So what is the question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is essentially posing? Is a person that walks down turned upon his face, meaning his face is in the ground, is he more guided, or a person that's walking on a straight path and he's walking upright? It's a rhetorical question, but the answer is obvious. Of course, the person that has a straight path, he knows exactly where he's going. He's basically just taking a displacement and he can see where he's going. Right? He's more guided than the one who cannot perceive. He cannot perceive because his face is turned down. The means of his perception is his eyes. His eyes are in the ground. He cannot see what lies ahead. And also, he doesn't know. For him, it doesn't mention that he's on a straight path. So he doesn't know whether he should be turning, and etc. Right? For me, the parable is profound. Why? Because what is it comparing? What is it comparing?
Many people that are doing good deeds, but they're not really doing it with the intention of knowing that this is a good deed for the sake of Allah, and somebody that's doing something and knowing that they're doing it for the sake of Allah.
Okay. We must remember, it's following on from the previous discussion. So the previous discussion is related to the disbelievers, right? And their denial of Allah's favor, etc. So what it is it's a comparison between a person that is a disbeliever and a person that is a believer. The disbeliever, he is plotting his own course. But he's plotting his own course with a lack of information. Now I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean by that. It's a very important concept to understand, especially in our time. And then on the other hand, you have a believer whose course has been set already, and it's done in full knowledge. He has full knowledge as to where he's going. Now, what I'm relating to this to is, if one considers any way of life other than a divine way, the only source of plotting that way is one's own intellect and experiences and desire, or the collective of a number of people, or the entire humanity for that matter. Right? You follow me? If you're coming with any human-made system, basically, the only source that a human-made system has to plot itself or to design itself is human intellect, the limited amount of information that human beings have, their desires, their experiences, etc. Right? There's no external source. What is the nature of human experiences and knowledge? It differs, number one. Is it developing? If it's developing, that means it's limited. If it's developing, that means it's limited. Right? So you don't have all the information. You don't have all the information. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is plotting to us over here is a person, he's basically treading his own path. He doesn't even know where he's going because his knowledge is limited. He doesn't even know where he's going, nor does he know how he's going about going there. Is he more guided than one who walks upright on a straight path? How is this the parable of a believer? The believer's course is set by Allah. What is he doing? He comes to a source of knowledge, what he recognizes to be divine, that being the Quran. He recognizes it to be from a source of infinite knowledge. Right? So the being that set this path, he's not short of knowledge. It's not as if some new knowledge is going to come to him to recognize it afterwards. You know, I must reroute over here. You know, your GPS is rerouting. No, it's never going to happen. Because it was complete, encompassing knowledge from the very beginning. Right? And then the Sawiyan aspect, it refers to the fact that this believer has confidence and he knows exactly where he's going because he's coming to a source of complete knowledge. So that's the difference between that Sawiyan and Mukibban. The one that's Mukibban, he doesn't know where he's going, he can't see where he's going. But the one that's walking upright, Sawiyan, he can see where he's going. Right? How does a believer know where he's going? How does he see where he's going? By reading the Quran. Allah tells us, do X, Y, Z, gets you to Jannah. Do X, Y, Z, takes you to Jannah. Right? More importantly, do X, Y, Z, you attain the pleasure of Allah. Right? That's where the knowledge or the lack of knowledge versus the knowledge comes in. Where the Sirat al-Mustaqim aspect comes in is that if you don't know where you're going and you don't have a course, you can go anywhere. So Allah doesn't even mention anything about their path because the path is so scattered, it's not defined. You can go wherever you want to. You don't know where you're supposed to be going. You don't have a destination. But as for the believer, his destination is set. His destination is set. Brother, you want to get to the pleasure of Allah, you want to get to Jannah, that is your path. That is your purpose. If you live in disbelief of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can't have a purpose. If you have a purpose, you're lying to yourself. If you have a purpose, you're making up something. It's a fictitious thing that you are putting there just so that you can live comfortably. But it's not a real thing, it's just something you made up. It's a mirage. And the leading atheists will tell you the same. Richard Dawkins will tell you the same thing. Human beings need to have a purpose to live, so then we must make up a purpose. There's no real purpose. When you believe in complete randomness and an absence of Allah, then that's the only thing you must come to. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks the question, أَفَمَنْ يَمْشِي مُكِبًّا عَلَى وَجْهِهِ أَهْدَى? Is the one who walks downturn on his face, doesn't know where he's going, is he more guided? أَمَّنْ يَمْشِي سَوِيًّا عَلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ? Or the person who walks upright on a straight path, meaning the person that believes is guided by the guidance of the Quran and his destination is to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is that person more guided? It's a rhetorical question, but there's profound depth to it as well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. Our time is up. We're in there for now. وجزاكم الله خير وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.